Pixar, forever in the fast lane. Or so we thought, until 2011 when they took a major crash into the sidewall of mediocrity. Oh wait, no, not mediocrity. Everybody flipping hated it. Even the kids hated it. The adults hated it. There was backlash from the makers of this film itself.
Okay, let me put it how bad this movie was. You know how every Pixar movie gets nominated for an Oscar?
Mm-hmm. This one didn't?
This
one did not. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Let me put it like this. You know about Sony's E3 of 2006. Up until that point, Sony were essentially the rulers of the game industry. But the minute that E3 of 2006 hit, they became a laughingstock. Cupped up with that meme $599 US. Why do I compare it to this? Well, like Sony, Pixar were more or less kind of the kings of animation. They were picking up the slack that Disney were dropping on. And while DreamWorks were definitely getting a rise, they still... Well,
that's the thing, Jova. That's the thing, Jova. The badness of this movie got magnified because of the fact that recently both Disney Animation and DreamWorks had started kind of their renaissances with remember the same year that this movie came out, Disney released Winnie the Pooh, which is wonderful, and DreamWorks released Puss in the Boots, a criminally underappreciated film.
Oh yeah. Like, and you know what? Whereas with Disney, some people were still a bit fickle. DreamWorks were definitely on a rise, and it would be the starting of this year where DreamWorks would essentially surpass Pixar for quite a bit of a time. Because, folks, we've talked about Disney's dark age here and there, but now it's time to actually look at the start of Pixar's dark age. Oh, and yes,
you mean like more like Pixar's dork age? Am I right?
Welcome to Cars 2.
Yes, Cars 2.
Yeah, we've only now said the name of the movie.
Cars 2, The Fender Bender, the box office
Cars
crash,
2, Electric
the race
Boogaloo,
car rifle disaster, and all that.
Yeah, it was so bad. John Lasseter has not directed another film since this one.
Mm-hmm.
Cars 2, where we will again ask more uncomfortable questions to which we will get no answers.
Oh, trust me, Shiroi.
Let me put it like this. This film is so bad that in a way it kind of tainted the It forever tainted the reputation of Pixar. And not just that, it felt like all their movies later on were affected by it. Like, after this movie, Pixar were struggling to put out a good hit.
Wait, what came out after this? Was it
Brave? Brave, yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's missing
it's
nothing.
Not good. It's not very good. Not really. It's better than this, but it's not very good still.
The only people I know to enjoy it are Scottish, so take what you will
the only
Scottish deserve better.
No, but before Inside Out, Monsters University was really the only good one they had for a while. There.
Hey, what are you talking about? There was The Good Dinosaur. Oh wait,
that came out after Inside Out.
Yeah.
Same year.
Also, Shiroi, they had Train Spotting. They had better.
Sure. The reason you don't think of spy espionage when you look at Cars is because you haven't seen this movie. Because trust me, this movie will ram this into your mind until you cannot forget it.
It's a better spy movie than Die Another Day.
Like, that's a fucking accomplishment.
I already don't like that movie.
Okay. I'm completely in the dark on
hey.
that.
But here, Deji, two can play that game. This is a better comment than if they got fingered. Well, no freaking shit, Sherlock.
Okay, fine.
That's a James Bond movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I have not seen that one.
Oh.
It's the last Pierce Brosnan movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it has a good sword. It has a good sword fight in it, like with good stunt work, but that's about it.
But I think we're getting off track here.
Let's start at the Disney logo, the prim and proper Disney logo. Everybody ready?
Yes. Go ahead.
In 3, 2, 1, click.
So question.
First thing about this movie, the advertising was kind of a lie, seeing as how it implied that. Well, a certain character would actually be a character.
The trailers didn't focus on Mater at all, which, as you're about to see, it's a problem. I never
saw any of the trailers.
What's interesting? I actually went to see this movie in theaters, and the highlight of that experience was the Toy Story short that came before it, which is 10 times better than the movie itself. Kind of like the same thing. You know what's interesting? In the following year, Brave, the best part of watching Brave in theaters was the La Luna short by Enrico Casarosa, the director of Luca. That was also.
You know what's a short I want to see be made?
Hold on, Deji. There you go, Shiro. That's how we're starting. Excuse me?
What does this have to do with Lightning McQueen?
I mean, for all we know, we could be watching a movie. The characters are like in the the credit scenes of Cars 1.
That's what it looks like.
Okay. I'm going to list one positive right out of the gate, to be fair. It's the musical score.
Yeah, Michael Giacchino's score is great.
Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Randy Newman could have possibly made a good spy score, but based on what they did get with Michael Giacchino, I do think the score's the best part of the movie.
Not just that, but also the song.
So what is the first thing we see on Cars 2? A boat.
A boat. Well, actually, we saw a car earlier. Well, Pedro, we did see a car earlier.
So how does a boat...
True. Okay. To be fair, yeah,
whatever.
Technically, the first thing we saw was a car.
So...
Watch Planes.
No.
I have not seen Planes yet.
And now,
and
here's Finn McMissile, or as I like to call him, Michael McCain car. Yes, Michael Caine is in this movie for some reason.
Michael McCar.
Hey, look at that. He plays a British car.
Well, Michael Caine is British, so
yeah.
But Michael, did you even read the script before you said yes?
Well, he read the script for Get Carter, the remake, and agreed to be in that one.
That battleship is packing heat.
So, Shiroi, what do you think so far of this incredible return to the world of cars?
I mean, at least it's
actors.
Yeah, at least it's expanding. It's like, yeah, it's not just cars. It's also like you see boats.
I get that. But the problem, Dej, is that to fans of the first movie, this opening comes across as incredibly confusing because, wait, who is this guy? Where are we? What are we doing here? Why should I even care? Because there's no context for any of this. We don't know who...
Okay, Dej, think about this. Imagine if Kingdom Hearts 2 just ended up being mainly about Roxas instead of Sora. Like, people were confused.
I think people would have said that game would have been better as a result.
Not necessarily. At least not back in the day anyway, because...
Oh yeah, I know, whatever. What I was meaning is the whole reaching a memories like a context thing. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. But you see Lightning McQueen.
Okay, my point is how confusing it must be for people in the start of this movie. Like, they're probably wondering, wait, where's Lightning? All the advertising suggested Lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, there were some commercials that did hint at the spy stuff. However, it implied that both Lightning and Mater would be involved in that.
Also, Deji, allow me to correct you. We have yet to see any of the characters from the first movie so far.
I mean, we're only 3 minutes in.
And this film, at least to me, commits a pretty heinous offense: wasting an actor from Downfall.
Great.
Oh God! Just realized the things on his antenna is meant to be his hair.
Also, he has a fucking monocle. Why would a car need a monocle?
Yeah, that's cool. Professor Zundap, played by Thomas Kreitzman, aka Fagerline from Downfall, my favorite movie.
Oh, hey, that guy who was in Resident Evil, the movie 2.
How the hell? Why the hell would cars even be treated? They don't have hands. They can't use that. Yeah. Now that gun that Finn just pulled, that's a car gun. What?
Look, I'm just saying, there are some things you have to suspend your disbelief in.
No, I get that, Dej. The problem is that this movie doesn't really have a story to distract me from the poor world building.
You're about to see something insanely wild, and I'm gonna spoil it now. This movie has a bit better death count than Batman Forever.
Huh.
Oh, bad.
Here's the thing, Dej. The first movie, at the very least, had a decent story to distract me from the poor world building. This movie doesn't really have one, so my attention is drawn to somewhere else.
If I can give this movie some other credit, I do like the creative ways that they do work with cars, having to be cars.
He's dead.
I'll get
That's
into
your first death count.
I have a problem with that, but I'll get into that later when it becomes more apparent.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this is one of the darker Pixar films of all things. That's right. The sequel to Cars is one of the darkest.
Well, that's the thing, Jova. It's technically that's the thing, Jova. That darkness is basically put to no good use because it's the kind of irresponsible darkness that yes, there's death. That's a death toll. But the movie doesn't even acknowledge it or anything. It just feels like the movie doesn't even care that it has a death toll.
The song is so good.
Mike
Giacchino's score is great. It does acknowledge it later on.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, well, considering how it's a big plot point, given what what can do. Yeah.
I still don't know why I should care about any of this happening. I have no context.
Okay.
Deji, this has nothing to do with suspension of disbelief, Deji. I need context to care about things.
I'm just saying, do you think initially the whole spy theme was meant to be a completely new IP, but they couldn't really figure it out, and they were forced to make a Cars 2, so they just decided to compromise?
Given that we do know that John Lasseter really did want to make a spy movie,
I actually do have some information about that.
The realm of reality.
According to him in an interview, what happened was while he was promoting the first movie, he went on to throughout the entire world, promoting it all over the world. And while he was having all these visiting places all over the world, apparently he was constantly looking at various places like, what would Mater do if he was here? He wasn't even thinking of Lightning McQueen, apparently. His question was, what would Mater do if he was here? And that's where this movie comes from. Yes. And by the way, he has a breathing thingy because cars need to breathe. Of course cars need to breathe. That makes sense.
Well, I can answer your question from earlier, actually.
Go on.
Apparently, Finn McMissile was supposed to be in the first movie as the main character of an in-universe spy film. But they reworked that into being a real spy in the actual universe.
So basically,
he was supposed to be the Jet Fusion Cars universe?
So let me get this straight. They basically took the Itchy and Scratchy show and made that the focus of an entire season of Simpsons. Okay.
I was going to say the Jet Fusion or Crash Nebula, but okay. Because remember, Crash Nebula was meant to be a TV show.
Well, yeah, but that in itself, what Liv just told us, that in itself is a problem. So you're taking something that was just meant to be a one-off, gag, and making it the focus.
Okay. Let's be fair. We've heard worse ideas made into actual stunning successes, so there was potential.
It's a cliched thing. It's like, oh wow, this thing I really like. Oh, what? It's real? Wow, that's so cool. That it's based off that your life is it's just like your TV show. So it's like it's cliche. That doesn't bother me. It's just how it's execution.
Notice how we saw and heard Toe Mater before we actually heard and saw Lightning McQueen live. Let that be set up the modus operandi for this movie.
Although it's funny, I said that the idea was Jet Fusion. This show feels like the Planet Sheen of Cars. Whereas, this is why focusing on the comic relief is not a good idea.
Anyway, so I guess it's implied that Lightning's back after winning a Piston Cup or something? I don't really know.
This also shows that John Lasseter, for whatever reason, lost his understanding of how character writing is supposed to work. Comic relief characters are exactly that, comic relief. They don't belong in the protagonist spot.
Look, it's not impossible to make a comic relief character worthy of the protagonist spot, but more often than not, you have to make a lot of changes to that character. Like, maybe use the whole showing of hidden depths as a reason for why they're not.
One. Yeah. And here's the one mention of Hudson Hornet.
So yeah, it's implied that Lightning has been winning the Piston Cup. It's nice that he won one, but it's a shame we never get to see him win one in this film series.
Why did Doc's voice actor pass away?
Yes. And
Okay.
so they also made the character die in between movies as well.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I think they dedicated this movie to him, did they? Paul Newman, I mean.
I don't recall.
Lol.
It's just like the cows in the first movie, except it's bigger.
Yes.
Don't you know, bigger means better and funnier.
Oh, look, the Incredimobiles.
Yeah.
That sounds like that could be an interesting movie. Though they are taking a while with the sequel, Pedro.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be worth the wait.
And they totally wouldn't have to scrap a good chunk of it for, for a Toy Story 4.
Don't you mean toy car story 4?
Yeah.
Okay, and here's a problem. Apparently it's a bad thing that Lightning doesn't want to spend every waking minute with Mater.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, he just had a full day with you, Mater. What if he wants to hang out with his love interest?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is Wreck-It Ralph 2.
This is basically the problem where...
Oh, wait. Here's the problem, dudes. It's Wreck-It Ralph 2 if we didn't have the lesson for the main character. Because, look, as much as I am really growing to dislike Wreck-It Ralph 2, this movie, okay, imagine if, Ralph wasn't supposed to learn that he was getting way too attached. That's this movie.
So you're the maitre d' in that case?
Believe it or not, the lesson... Believe it or not, the lesson is not that Mater needs to give them more alone time.
Honestly, I failed to realize what is even supposed to be the lesson that he's supposed to learn in this movie, to be honest with you.
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing. He's not the one who has... Well, he technically does learn some lessons,
I'll add
but...
that to the me and Shiwai are the same person checklist.
Let me put it like this. He technically does learn a lesson, but...
That car has glasses.
It's not the lesson.
Why would a car need glasses?
Oh, Miles Axelrod.
So does car eyesight also deteriorate?
So yeah, he ran out of gas, so he had to pretty much drag himself out and find a fuel himself.
Wait, why are they just filming him climbing out? Help him, you evil...
Oh look, it's I'm trying to think of a car pun for the UK.
Milton Keynes.
So who's voicing Axelrod, Dwibs?
Let me see.
Somebody.
Miles Axelrod. He's voiced by Eddie Izzard.
Ah, I thought he sounded familiar.
I think recently Eddie Izzard changed pronouns because now they're...
Oh look, it's Francesco Bernoulli.
Wait, the actual one?
Yeah,
no.
The actual Eddie Izzard.
No, I'm talking about Francesco Bernoulli as in he's an Italian race car. Cause
he is our apparent antagonist for now. Yeah, Chick is nowhere to be seen in this movie.
I mean, to be
Formula
fair,
1 versus NASCAR, let's go.
I mean, to be fair, in universe, Jova, it's easy to think that, you know, he
what
lost
the
everything because you're such an arsehole.
Okay, what the fuck is this scene? Was this...
Except then Cars 3 brings him back.
Okay, what the fuck is this scene?
No, he didn't.
What the fuck is this new scene? Like, did Frank Miller suddenly take over and write this scene?
Basically, Pedro, this is exposition to set up for the
I get that.
I drive the plot.
I get that, but why a news scene, a newscast scene, though? Like
because that's one of the best ways to get exposition out of the way, essentially. Hold a news report that shows what's going to drive the plot later.
Of course.
Honestly, it's the least of this movie's problems.
Oh look, and okay, so they turned they turned Sally into a fickle bitch. Okay, that's nice to know. Thanks, John.
Well, not fickle. It's more like, you know, you can be attracted to a celebrity.
Oh dear. So basically, Mater called in on the news to pretty much speak up for Lightning's sake. Of course, that may end up getting Lightning in a race that he wasn't interested in joining. But hey, might as well make lemonade out of lemons. You know what? You know what? Good for Lightning. He's sticking up for his friends. Remember that for later.
Not so fast. That's your new motto. Okay, that's kind of funny.
Okay, so where did all the spy stuff go?
Oh, don't worry, Shirai. Don't worry, Shirai. Don't worry, Shirai. It will come back with a vengeance. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Shirai. This film can't make its mind up. Half the time, it's like you know, it does feel like a sequel to the first Cars movie. The other times, it feels like I'm watching the weird car spin-off of James Bond.
You.
Well, I know.
Why?
I got it. 007.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on. Remind me. Hold on. Why? The Mater has work to do. He works here, though. People kind of need his services, don't they? Why would Mater go with him? Like, he has work to do here.
They don't have any other tow truck, right?
Yeah.
Because he's Lightning's best friend.
Yeah, you're starting to see what I mean, Shiro. Like, they're ignoring stuff that was established from the first movie. Like, contextually,
He actually has headlights now.
It's just like again, it's just contrivances to force the storyline that they want, basically.
So anyway, now we have our redesign for Lightning in this movie. He now has headlights.
That way,
Inside planes here.
But don't you see, Jova? That way, we can sell a different brand of Lightning McQueen toys to the kids.
You know, if they establish that there are more tow trucks between
Oh,
movies,
look! Japanese car commercials. Yeah, we're going to Car Japan, by the way.
Yep. Also, wait. So, if the planes are alive, how does it feel for them to have people inside of them? Is it like eating them, or?
Oh, remember, Joe.
what was the name of the truck from the first movie?
Mac. I already mentioned that there. Just a thing, like I said, that this is how cars get into planes, Jova. Do you mind if I get inside you?
Sure. Yeah.
So Shiro, would you say? So Shiro,
where it's like, oh, sorry, go on.
So Shiro, would you say Car Japan looks like the real thing?
I mean, if we're talking about General City area, kinda.
Ooh, anime Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
And a kabuki show with cars.
Kabuki Mater. Buy now for $15.99.
Sumo car wrestling.
When the Olympics started and they did the opening ceremony with the kabukis, my mom was like, "I don't get it." It was like, oh. So I had to explain to her what it was.
Well, Grand Prix.
You know what? The graphics look great.
Yeah, this movie came out in 2011.
Well,
Yeah.
Pixar's animation is always great, even in their worst movies.
That's all Lightning's asking, is just that Mater be on his best behavior.
Exactly.
I don't think you guys realize how extremely profitable Cars is as a franchise.
No, don't worry, Dej. We are perfectly aware.
I know all about that. But think about it, Dej. This was one where, for as marketable as it was, the success of this movie cost Pixar the reputation and the performance of later movies of theirs.
Disney was like, well, we don't care as long as we still sold toys.
I already made that joke. And yeah, basically, this is basically going to be the primary thing. Like McQueen is basically trying to do things, asking for toys, and all Mater is going to be doing is making stupid remarks at everything that he sees.
Let me put it like this: Lightning's essentially asking Mater to maybe not be too much himself, and the movie will be like, "But you should let your friends be themselves." Problem. Here's the problem with the whole "just be yourself" metaphor here. Being yourself, I get it. But there's a time and place to purely be yourself. And if being yourself involves admitting that you have something like, a foot fetish or something, that is obviously not a time to be honest about yourself in that regard. Because sometimes it can just creep people out, especially if you just spout nonsense like that out of nowhere. And don't even get me started about being yourself via Twitter. Like, we've already seen the natural fallout from that.
And now you're making me imagine Toe Mater with a Twitter account.
Oh, God.
They probably would have done it. So, if it were the right time, they would have done it.
Excuse me while I make a Twitter account about Mater.
Sorry, Dej. It won't matter unless it gets verified.
Yeah. Oh boy, time for the wasabi gag. We all love that.
I feel like that joke happens in every time whenever a character goes to Japan.
Yeah, because wasabi because wasabi is spicy as shit. Okay, we get it.
See, okay, you know what? One thing I do like about that they did for Lightning's character is like, well, a potential arc for him could have been that, as he mentioned before, ever since Doc unfortunately passed away and they named the cup after him, he's always felt that he owes it to Doc to win in his honor, essentially. Well, which is something I can appreciate for Lightning.
But Doc certainly really mentioned in that first scene, and he's barely brought up again. The the third movie.
Yes, allow me to mention the caveat. Ooh, that doesn't get as much focus as it should have had. And with the third movie, oh boy! They technically bring it back, but they screw the pooch horribly with that.
Well, there you go. Dwebs, who's the British Dwebs, who's the British actress they dragged in here to play this purple car?
What's the car's name again?
I don't know. Like, I don't remember the names of these characters. I don't care about them. I don't know. Just go to the cast list, and it's probably the first British actress you'll see. Like, if you recognize a British actress's name.
God, I just realized that's supposed to be his mustache.
Holly Shiftwell?
Yeah, that's her.
Emily Mortimer.
Well, there you go.
That name does not ring a bell to me.
She was in stuff like Hugo and Mary Poppins Returns.
So basically, their objective is to meet up with an American spy, essentially.
Also, giant samurai hats in the background for some reason. Get it? Because Japan.
Oh, so here's the thing. By a turn of events, Finn McMissile can't show up because the German car will recognize him. So instead, he sends
in... It's a real shame he didn't go do a disguise or something like that.
So essentially, the purple car, who's not really a field agent but more runs diagnostics, will need to make the trade-off to the American spy. But she may not be as familiar with who the American spy is.
Alright, and now it's time for... Yeah. Oh gee, I wonder what's gonna happen. So John, I'm guessing this is what you thought Mater would do in Japan? Burn himself with wasabi? I guess that, and you thought that was apparently worth making it into a movie?
And yet, that is not the worst thing about this movie.
No, the worst thing is making more of an appearance.
And yet, believe it or not, the movie will act like Lightning McQueen is in the wrong for acting embarrassed by this.
Of course. Don't you know? Yay, peeing joke. This is what I want to see in a Pixar movie. A pee joke.
You know, the first movie had very intellectual thought discussions about the passing from generation to generation and how the younger generation may not always...
Don't get sophisticated on me.
Well, that's the thing, Dej. Compared to this movie, the first one was a philosophical masterpiece.
Okay, and of course, Shiro decides to leave during this period.
Good, God bless her.
Well, yeah, but for a film like this, you can't afford to be missing huge chunks.
Japanese car toilets. Great. Thank you, movie. I needed to see this. Because anime.
Hey, Paige, after this, you want to watch Brave?
No, thank you.
I got it. That's a Navy coup.
No, thank you.
Are these how Japanese toilets are like?
I don't know it, and quite frankly, I don't care.
Oh, snap.
Hey, Bruce Campbell! How did you get in here?
That's Bruce Campbell.
Yes, that's Bruce Campbell, because this movie is not done wasting good actors. Oh.
Jesus, they're ramming into him.
Now we got Tug of War. Oh god, it's that bit from WCW where Hogan fought the Giant in a monster truck sumo match. Oh.
And he puts whatever the hell the others are wanting in Mater's ass. Great. Wasn't there supposed to be a race of sorts that was going to happen?
No, it's a spy movie.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it that much if A, it was done better, and B, they pick one and stick with it.
Great fart jokes. We all love them.
Yeah, it's extremely American.
Because
that's how all Americans act.
Because
how do you and
good to see you, Shiroi. You just abandoned us for like 10 minutes of shit.
Yeah,
no. God did you a favor.
Okay,
please don't keep abandoning us like you normally do throughout these bad
well, here's what happened in Shiroi. We had a pissing joke. We had we had a car Japanese toilet because apparently cars need toilets, and Mater getting
Sure.
through slapstick in the style of Goofy, and that's basically it. Yeah, yes.
Also, while Bruce Campbell car was getting brutalized.
Can you explain this to me? since you've been to Japan. Do Japanese toys really have that thing when they just squirt up your butt?
Yeah, they do.
Why?
Yeah, they do. Because it cleans it, supposedly.
But why is
Alright.
But why does it have to be in a Cars movie, though?
Okay.
They also have home seats in the scene.
Yes, they do.
So basically,
yeah.
we've got torture for cars.
Not just that. This is where it definitely does come into play because they have a special device tied to Ono oil fuel.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, I don't know what's the worst film with Thomas Kretschmann in it. This or Hitman Agent 47.
Resident
Not
Evil
talk about that
Apocalypse is a contender. And
Yeah, he's dead.
yeah,
Yep, Bruce Campbell
Those count
car
number
is
2.
dead.
ancient traditions. So what were ancient Japanese cars like, Pedro?
Station
How
wagon.
is he supposed to know?
How am I supposed to know that?
I don't know. You're usually the guy who thinks up dumb stuff for the stuff. when
Okay,
it's
fine.
dumb.
I still have yet to understand why would cars need glasses.
Well, don't you see? Their eyes will eventually start to get a bit old and weary for them.
Look, this movie has established that bugs go inside their eyes, okay? The first one, remember?
That's the thing, Deji. According to the first movie, bugs in this world are also cars themselves. So, does that mean that bugs in this world also need gas? How would you fill up a bug car? Because all the gas stations we saw in the first movie don't really seem fit to fill up a diminutive car. How does this work?
Should we just
all
shut
I
up
can
and
just
enjoy the
say
international
is-
race that is meant to
No,
bring
there's a
us all
logical
together,
explanation for it.
nation by nation?
The bug cars do need oil, but they take it from the trees, because trees in this universe are made of oil. Okay?
Of
There.
course.
You know, guys,
How did I
guys,
not
guys,
know?
guys, I just realized something.
Oh, look! Something resembling the first movie. Or not.
So, you know, I just realized. So, remember how Axelrod mentioned how gas is a fossil fuel and even references the dinosaurs? So, they acknowledge that they are using fuel from dinosaurs. What were dinosaurs like in this universe?
Mega Evolution is basically fossil fuel when you get down to it.
So, what you're saying is that the dinosaurs were also cars
So
themselves?
here we go.
Yes.
A race.
So I hope you guys enjoy Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
No, I didn't.
That movie's an acquired taste at best.
I can only make it past 20 minutes. I'm gonna rewatch it one day. But I'm not strong enough.
All right, racing. Okay, we're 35 minutes in, and we have something related to racing happening.
Guys! It's Tokyo, like a tow truck.
Okay, I'll give them one.
I mean, look at that. Like, they have holographic screens as well. Why not? Of course they do.
Also, these spies are the dumbest I've ever seen.
So there you go, Shiro. The plot, I guess, is that there's some kind of nefarious evil villain doing something with the races, and Michael Caine Cars trying to find out who it is, and that's the...
You know what Cars 2 should have just been? Speed Racer.
Hey, guys, look, the power slide.
I have a better idea. You know what Cars 2 should have been? Nothing.
No.
He's right. It should have just been one and done. Nothing more. But Disney gotta make that moolah off the merch.
There was plenty we could have done. Also, in case you missed it, Return of the Power Slide maneuver.
We
saw them. But seriously, no. They could have done stuff with Cars 2. They could have just made a story about Lightning continuing the legacy of the Hudson Hornet. Like, here's the thing. Not every sequel needs to be this big, grand epic that absolutely matches everything that its predecessor did. Sometimes it can just be a natural continuation of stuff here.
Well, it could be a smaller scale.
Well, Deji, to be fair, they did get one thing from Speed Racer in this movie.
The death toll?
No, Michael Giacchino.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Also, hey, John Ratzenberger.
What the fuck does this have to do with Lightning McQueen and his racing?
Okay.
Well, here's what
a sequel focusing on a different character than the previous movie isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just they picked the wrong one.
Also, here's another problem. They were completely underhanded about it.
Yep, that too.
I remember seeing commercials on advertise and a trailer. It's like, no, this was mostly about Mater. So maybe it's like what was the first trailer and the teaser.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Kind of underhanded it.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. Basically, Shiroi, they were both the two British car spies were looking for an American car played by Bruce Campbell for some reason, and in order to distract the bad guys, he placed the thing that they're looking for in Mater's ass. Don't ask. So now Michael Caine car and Emily Mortimer car think that Mater is the secret American agent car.
Yep.
Right.
Because keep this in mind, Shiroi. This was written and put into production
by the same guy who brought us Toy Story 1 and 2.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Oh, and Bug's Life as well. He directed that too.
That's an underappreciated Pixar movie.
Agreed.
I really like that movie.
I always liked Bug's Life.
People like it, but like when it comes to the best Pixar movies, it's barely brought up.
As for the actual writer of this movie,
hold on, Dwibs. As for the actual race, turns out Mater leaving may have cost Lightning the race because he doesn't have somebody to guide and give him advice over the radio. And yet again, Lightning will be treated in the wrong for being annoyed with Mater.
I have to bring up a world-building issue this time, because now this is actually inconsistent with the first movie. Remember how in the first movie everything was wide and big so that the cars could fit in? Like the cones, for example, right? I'm going to take your silence as a yes. Okay. Well, now, if you take a look at the buildings, all the buildings look exactly like human buildings. Like they have normal human doors and stuff like that. How does this work now? So you're telling me that that only Radiator Springs has...
another death count.
So the world building in the first movie was already very spotty. Now we're having inconsistent world logic because now the buildings look like human buildings, which wouldn't make any sense because they're all cars. There's no humans here. Good job, John. Good job. Go ahead, Wibbs.
So as for the actual writer of this movie, he has written some things for the TV shows called Century City, a co-creator of stuff like Drive, a creator of stuff like A to Z and Powerless. But in terms of movies, the previous one he wrote was a film called Proximity in 2001, and this film and Cars 3.
Yeah, you wrote Cars too, didn't you? Come here, stay here and work and write another one.
And somehow make it even worse.
Well, okay, to be fair, he was only the screenwriter on this movie. The story was co-written by John Lasseter, Brad Lewis, and Dan Fogelman.
Fair enough.
Which baffles the fuck out of me with Dan Fogelman. He co-wrote Tangled.
Yep.
And the first Cars movie.
Oh, is this like a reference to the Mater's Tall Tales cartoons?
I never saw those, so this is meaningless to me.
Oh my god, come to think of it, this whole movie feels like an extended episode of Mater's Tall Tales.
John, I know that for some reason you have some kind of boner for Tow Mater, but guess what? You're the only one. Stop shoving him in our faces and let me actually watch McQueen race.
Here's the thing. He had his own spin-off series anyway. It was called Mater's Tall Tales. That was fine enough. But yeah, apparently it's a bad thing that Lightning has pretty much fired Mater as his...
Yeah, it's not like Mater did something bad or anything.
Oh, we should feel sad for Mater. It's not like he was acting like a jackass. Oh wait, no, he was exactly acting like that.
Feel sorry for Mater, Shiroi.
No.
I refuse.
Dead?
Deji's taking a vow of silence.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Deji, do you feel sorry for Mater?
Sorta, kinda, because it wasn't really his fault. But at the same time, I feel it's like, this is something that Lightning and Mater should just talk. Lightning didn't really tell Mater how he really felt. It just feels like, Mater, you're kind of being embarrassing.
That's the thing. Lightning was candid with it. Granted, Mater did try to tell him what happened, but Lightning doesn't really have much reason to believe Mater now, does he? Okay, so here's the problem. Oh, get it? They have to take their tires off at the checkpoint.
But those things detect metal. They don't...
Okay, look. Here's the problem with that scene, Dej. The movie acts like Lightning is completely in the wrong and never suggests this. Okay, they do have that tiny bit, but all the same, the movie's more so about how Mater should just be himself more and how people should appreciate him for how he really is. Even though how he really is really only meant to be appreciated in small doses.
You're AAA?
yeah, AAA.
Didn't this get a video game, actually?
Yes. Avalanche Software made a Mario Kart clone of this game.
Although, to be fair, I think when they're talking about AAA, they're talking about the travel agency or the people who sometimes come and help you when you get towed.
Lots of age over. For stuff like that, we have the AA. EAA, as we call it. All
right, if I remember. And now sit down, everybody, for like 10-15 minutes of Mater playing British Spy. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we go back to Lightning McQueen, by the way.
It's like I said. I don't think it's inherently a bad idea when a film sequel focuses on a different character instead of the main one from the last movie. The only issue is they picked the wrong one.
Like, yeah, honestly, I think what this should have been, if they really wanted to... If they really wanted to make a Cars spy film, It should have just been a full-on spin-off.
Well, yeah, at the very least, Planes had the decency of just being sold as a spin-off.
Oh god, can you imagine the backlash if Planes had actually been a God-given sequel?
Yeah, imagine if that was Cars 3.
Still would not be as bad as the actual Cars 3, but that would be pretty bad still.
Oh yeah, and guess what, Shiroi? That British female car thing, that's Mater's love interest.
Oh.
Yep. Mater gets a love interest.
Yes.
Because of course he does.
Because of course he does. This is actually around this period. This was actually around. Oh, God.
Lavatory services. So that's what the cars poop out.
Yes, of course. Thank you, John. I totally needed to know what cars poop out. That's incredibly important.
It was integral to the world building.
Well, Mr. Pedro, you said you weren't a big fan of the world building in the previous movie.
Well, yeah, but now you made the world building even worse because you now made it inconsistent with the first one. You can't even stay. You can even stay. You can even stay consistent in between movies. I have a question. How did Mater write this? He has no hands. How do cars write?
Maybe he used that crane.
To be fair, it's been established that they can twist and tilt their wheels around to act like hands, and some of them just use their mouths to write.
Of course. But yeah, that's the thing, Jova. Like, this is actually a problem that I had with, like, a common complaint I had with a lot of animated films around the time that this movie came out, actually. Where a lot of times animated films would have romances, like a love interests for characters that didn't need to be in there and just feel like they were just put in there just for the hell of it instead of actually being something that would actually benefit the story. Like in this one, hell, for as much as I love How to Train Your Dragon, I still don't see the point in tagging in Hiccup with Astrid. It eventually got a payoff. We eventually got a payoff for it in the third movie. But yeah, like from the context of the first movie, they just have the get together just because. It doesn't actually have anything to do with the story itself. But
I wouldn't say it's completely just I wouldn't say it was completely just because it was a relationship that developed relatively naturally. I wouldn't say a relationship always needs to have a big impact on the story for it to be warranted. It's one that worked out relatively fun. Anyway, the whole spy thing.
I was gonna say, aren't those? I haven't read the books, but I know that How to Train Your Dragon is based off a series of books. So maybe she's a girlfriend in the book, so they just have to tie it in together.
I do not know.
Anyway, we should probably pay attention to the movie because
these
bits are actually important.
Blah blah blah. Spy shit. Okay, fine. I will. Yeah, we need to find this engine right here. This is the engine of the bad guy. It's the only photo of the bad guy that we have.
Which is kind of a contradicting clue later on, but that is way later down the line.
A treacherous lowlife?
Mater is just goofy without the charm.
Basically, yeah.
Well, he had charm in the first movie because he also had hidden depths and, it was like, yes, he was a goofball, but he could be legit a professional, which I guess this movie does kind of do stuff with, but again, because he is the one holding up this entire movie, he needs much more to him to suffice.
He said he always wanted to be a spy.
Welcome to Paris.
I thought what you always wanted was to ride an helicopter.
Hey, look, Notre Dame, Pedro.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at France. See? Notice something about France in this movie? It all looks just like real France.
Well, not necessarily. A lot of the stuff is car fame. Hey, a Ratatouille reference with gas stoves.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, and we could be watching Ratatouille instead over this. That would
Well,
be...
watch that after.
Oh, you never saw it?
Yeah, it's like John Lasseter forgot. It's like John Lasseter forgot an important rule of filmmaking: never make a reference to a better movie than your own.
What?
Well, no. Have you ever seen Ratatouille?
Wait, what kind of rule is that?
Well, hold on. Have you ever seen Ratatouille, Dej?
Bits and pieces of it. I never just saw all the way through.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll watch it. I love Ratatouille.
Also, Dibs, the problem with that rule you're spouting is that it forgets that hindsight is 2020. Like, to be fair, there's like no way of knowing. Well, as far as John Lasseter knew, this wasn't going to be that bad.
I was gonna say no one goes out of their way to make a bad movie, and then that rule got broken with Freddy Got Fingered.
Remember, there's always an exception to the rule.
There are various exceptions to rules.
Okay. So from what a friend who watched that movie and loves it, I don't know why, it told me that he deliberately went out of his way just to win the Razzie.
Yes,
that was his goal.
He did.
So if you're doing that he was doing that for a malicious purpose, but like John Lasseter did it because this is his passion project.
Well, okay.
See, here's the problem, Dej, with that logic.
Okay. I wouldn't call it malicious purposes. He legit wanted to have a good time making this movie. And for better or for worse, it did leave people entertained. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was maybe not for the best of intentions, but to call it malicious purposes, I feel is a bit extreme.
See, here's the problem. See, here's the problem with that logic, Dej. Okay, here's the problem, John. You're basically, here's the problem, John. You're not the only person who's gonna watch this movie. Okay, if all you care about is what you want, then just make the movie for yourself and don't release it in theaters. Okay, when you make a movie made for releasing in theaters for an actual crowd to watch, you have to actually take into account what other people might think of the movie, not just you. It's kind of like that stupid argument that George Lucas tried to say when he was asked about how people's complaints with the prequels, where and George Lucas's response was, well, if I want to paint my house white, then I'll paint it white. If I get that people want me to paint it green, but I want to paint it white. Well, yeah, George, that would apply if you were the only one watching these movies, but you're not.
See, here's what makes this...
People are coming to his house and they're telling him that it should be painted to a particular color, but it's his house.
Well, yeah, the house thing is an analogy in case you didn't get that.
Anyway, here's what makes this example worse, though. See, John Lasseter wanted to make it this way, but the main reason it got fueled was strictly because of the merchandising it was making. At least with George Lucas, I can at least say there was 100% passion there, and more enjoyable, at least, because like I said, even as a kid, I was disappointed with this sequel. Like, there's only so much you can do with Larry the Cable Guy before it gets
teenagers.
Old. What was that, Dej?
This came out when we were teenagers.
Well, actually, I was already
still a form of adolescent or kid.
Well, you got luckier than me. I was already an adult when this came out.
But yeah, look, even when this movie first came out, I was just not interested with it. There's only so much you can do with Larry the Cable Guy, and he's just not. Here's the thing, Mater, he's a fine character, but he's not as interesting as Lightning.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that bit just said, "Welcome to Captain America and the Winter Soldier."
This was basically the first sign. This was basically the first major warning sign that John Lasseter should just leave.
To be fair, he was not the sole reason for all the problems going on at Disney and Pixar. Like,
I'm talking about specifically Pixar. No, I mean obviously, I'm talking about Pixar specifically.
Even he wasn't the sole reason for Pixar's downfall. Like, let's not forget there was the drama with Brave. There was the stuff going on with the Good Dinosaur.
Well, but that's
guys have to tell me this once we're done.
Well, Joe, but here's the thing: most of those problems were also caused by him. Like, remember, the problems with Brave came from him butting heads with Brenda Chapman. The problems with with Cars 3 was once again him forcing cars on our roads.
We're in Italy. Can we watch Luca instead?
But
yeah,
like
that would be nice. Yes.
But like you mentioned, Pedro, Brenda Chatwin's idea for Brave itself wasn't really good to begin with, though.
Well, yeah, but John Lasseter probably didn't help with his meddling either.
Again. Look, what I'm saying is that John Lasseter was definitely a factor, but he was not the sole.
Oh, sure. But let's not forget how. But here's the thing, Jova. At the end of the day, he was the one greenlighting all these things and saying, "Yep, the script is good." So,
mind you, this was after he had gotten praise for putting an end to the dreaded Disney direct-to-video sequels era, which I would argue was not as bad as people were making.
It boils down to this.
I want to make the bad sequels.
It boils down to this, Jova. When a group fails, the leader takes responsibility. In John Lasseter's case, he's the one responsible for greenlighting all these things, for approving these scripts. He should take responsibility.
Wait, how do you fatten a car up?
Well, that's the thing, Pedro. Knowing what we know now, he's probably too busy being a massive creep.
Exactly, that too.
Like I said, there were definitely major factors to it. John Lasseter was probably the biggest one, but he was not the sole one.
Oh, he wasn't, but he
always Mike.
Okay.
One man cannot be solely responsible.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, he wasn't the sole responsible, but he was the one with the.
Wait, hold on, this bit. How dare you ask Mater to be someone else even for a minute of his lifetime? He should get to be himself all the time. Like, you know, if you have a friend who just loves to touch everyone, that friend should just be himself. And oh my god, it's making sense now with John Lasseter having
like, you shouldn't just slap them or anything.
Okay, it's
You and I wasn't gonna go there.
Look. Yes, he's not the only responsible guy, Dej, but he's the one with the power to stop the bad stuff from happening.
He's a major catalyst. That's what I'm saying.
That's like, if someone's doing something bad, intervene and stop it from happening. That's what Lord and Miller did with Lego and the Lego Movie Part 2. The original writers apparently were turned out at the garbage script, so they threw that garbage thing in the garbage, fired the writers, and wrote the movie themselves.
And then the Lego Movie franchise died.
Because that's what could
nothing of value was lost.
Screw you. You do not crap on my Lego movies, my friend.
Look, all I'm saying is Lego Batman, it peaked with Lego Batman.
True, but Lego Movie 2 is still great.
I haven't seen it yet. I thought the first one was just okay, but I wasn't in the best mood mentally when I saw it, so I need to give it a chance.
Okay. Let me put it this, Deds. The main reason that the Lego Movie franchise petered out was strictly because of oversaturation.
Yeah, Warner Brothers doesn't learn. They always struggle with trying to make a cinematic universe.
Hey, look, guys, Car Dracula? Tacos. You see, Mater has various shapes, guys. It's funny. Laugh. Laugh, Jova, laugh. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be low profile.
Why isn't anybody laughing at my jokes? Says John Lasseter.
See, I like to keep all my scars. Look at how wholesome Mater is, guys. He wants to keep the dents, bruises, and all damage that he got from hanging out with his friend.
No,
and look at how terrible Lightning was for sending him off for just
wait, Jova. Wait, you're telling me that Lightning McQueen...
Wait, guys. Miss Schiff was designing iPads? Oh, that means she can't be the bad guy.
He said iPhones.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That means she can't be the bad guy.
Hold on, Jova. Are you trying to tell me that Lightning McQueen is in this movie? I didn't realize that. Where is he?
Well, yeah. I mean, Pedro, we're about to have another race. Of course,
he's like John Cena. You can't see him.
He's there.
Hey, Pedro.
Wait. We're watching a Cars movie?
Well, yeah. Look. Wait.
Could have fooled me.
Well, yeah. Well, Pedro, of course, looking at a Cars movie, there are car indentations built into the mountains. Reminds me, what would Car Portugal be like?
See, look at that. Look at that door. See, look at that door. That's a normal human door. Like it's not like
Wait. Hold on. Which door were you talking about?
Like one of the. It only showed up for like half a second, but.
If you're talking about the door.
Well, no. Let's see. This is the thing. Let's see. No, my problem with this, Shiro, is that in the first movie, all the doors were super wide and big. And
if you're talking about the door I think you're talking about, that door wasn't necessarily small. I think it was just the angle of which we were looking at it from.
All right, racing. Okay.
And Francesco is on his home track.
Well, okay.
Look, there's even the car pope.
Well, okay, fine. Shiro, what do you think of the movie so far?
Wait. There's a pope in the Cars universe.
The Pope Mobile, maybe?
So that means that there is religion amongst the Cars guys.
Anyway, sorry, what do you think of the movie?
Jesus...
Can't let Jova finish his point.
Thank you. So, guys, we now have to beg the question, what kind of car was Jesus? What kind of car is God?
Okay, so...
Oh, no. You know what? No.
No. I got it, Jova. I got it. I can answer that.
Look. It has to be something wholesome, okay? So I'm going to say a short vet. What?
Actually, Deji, I can answer Jova. Jova, I get it. Car God would be like this. He would show up on screen and tell the plot to get on with it. There you go.
Yeah, but what kind of car would he be? Is the question.
What's like a royal type of car?
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, it can be a Rolls Royce. Why not? Sure.
Lord knows they cost enough.
All right, Shiroi, what do you think of the movie so far, then?
It's very disjointed and not at all funny.
But Shiroi, but Shiroi, don't you see? Mater pissed himself. That's funny.
Meanwhile, while the race is going on,
he also farted. Neither of those were funny.
We cut away from the race again to go back to the spy stuff. Again, I wouldn't mind it, but the spy stuff isn't even that good.
This was basically me, Dwez, when I first showed him the movie, because I actually was there when Dwez saw this movie for the first time, and Dwez was just as ticked off with the spy stuff as he is now.
And I like spy stuff.
Yeah, when you make a spy movie that and you and you have Dwebs asking not to have spy stuff in it, that's when you know you fucked up.
Oh, this bit.
Yeah.
You see, guys, we're wrong for looking at Mater as an idiot, even though Mater himself admitted that he's kind of a few knives short of a dinner set in the first movie.
See, in the hands of Akira, this could be tailored into a good subversive storyline, like what they did with Whisper's backstory. But no.
Look. Honestly, this movie could have been used to have Mater growing out of the idiot role. Kinda, not really, sorta does. It's complicated.
See, here's the thing. Here, let me actually explain my point for the sake of those who haven't seen it like Deji. One of the running gags, just to show how this plot with Mater could have been done better. Okay, one of the running gags in the first season of Yokai Watch is how Whisper, despite being the assistant character for Nate, doesn't know shit about yokai, so he always has to look on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, get it? To check things. So you're supposed to just at the beginning they just portray him as a know nothing guy who's just kind of like a very crappy assistant character. But then you reveal in the backstory that the problem is that he's actually repressing.
Oh hey guys, look, Casino Royale.
Get it? It's funny.
Good job, John Lesnar. You did it. Now
yes.
Get the hell out
well, to be fair, that pun was mine, so yeah.
But
All right, Dubs, here's your reward: a medal.
yeah, a medal. Alexander Hugo. But yeah,
Okay. Now, here is a moment like this where does show that Mater could have some good expertise. He's a tow truck, which means that he would need to know his makes and models of cars and also how to deal with them, especially older lemons, as we mentioned earlier near the start of the film.
Yeah, too bad the movie doesn't do much with it still. I mean, yeah, it's going to do that thing for the climax, though, don't get me wrong, but still, by this point, it's just too little too late.
And it's like, it's weird. They have the setup, the way to get Mater to have his character development, but then they just don't take advantage of it like they could have. Oh, the big boss is here. But via Zoom. And weird. The color looks not as blue as it did in that photo. That would be a major inconsistency. So, guys, want to take any guesses as to who the culprit is, who hasn't seen this movie before?
Wheeland, genuine.
Oh my god! It's here's my prediction: is it the ghost of Dark Lewis?
Sure.
Okay, I should explain. British Leyland was an old British car maker around here, but they call it British Wheeland because it's funny.
So basically, these cars, aka the Lemons, are, well, kind of...
He sounds like Idris Elba like this.
So here's the thing. This car does have a point. Apparently, they look down on older cars, which is a bout of social commentary that does make sort of sense, and I can't believe it, does sort of come back to play in Cars 3.
So what you're saying is that these are boomers hating on millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like a lemon right now.
Every villain is lemon.
Sounds evil.
By the way, I still have no idea why I'm supposed...
Whatever happened to where Michael Caine car tried to be inconspicuous because his enemies will recognize him?
Well, to be fair, time is of the essence and cars are dying, so time to prioritize.
I have an even better question. Why should I even care? Because they have yet to give this car, Michael Caine car, I mean, a personality. Like, seriously.
No. Michael Caine, as good as he is not a personality trait.
But guys, he's a spy. That's all you need to know. Mater is the real main character we care about.
I wonder if this movie took inspiration from the James Bond films where Bond was just some crazy stunt guy with very little personality.
Possibly. That said, you gotta love the irony that even with the actual spy stuff, which they wanted to be the main focus, they still pretty much give all the main focus to Mater over the spy characters. So it's not just the racing characters who get the shaft. Oh, snap.
Oh.
See that.
That was brutal.
I don't think they're putting in that much of an effort to stop.
You were saying?
Well, those two are, but what about all the others then?
To be fair, it was a very sudden maneuver, essentially. Like, you tried driving... And look, McQueen actually gets to win and beat Francesco on his own track.
What was that, Pedro?
Well, actually, no, I was asking what you said, because I didn't catch that.
I said, look, there's our protagonist.
Wait, I thought our protagonist was Mater. That's the thing. I'm pretty confident John Lasseter has designated Mater as the new protagonist of the Cars franchise, Shiroi, so you're going to have to...
Have you seen those Mater shorts?
No, I don't care to.
Jova, do you know what I think happened?
What?
You know all those advertising campaigns are try and hide stuff that's in the movie?
Yes.
I think that they saw how MGS2 did it and tried to copy that.
Oh, so basically they're trying to give the excuse that Neil Druckmann did. Okay.
Wait, Neil Druckmann tried to use Metal Gear Solid 2
Yes.
as an excuse?
Yes.
No, I mentioned this in the,
I love Metal Gear Solid 2.
I mentioned this in
you
the
could play as Snake in the climax, even though you missed the point of the game.
I mentioned this in the commentary, Jova. That Neil Druckmann defended the marketing by saying that it was inspired by MGS2's marketing campain.
To be fair, Pedro, it's been a while since we did that commentary.
Sure. But the point is, yeah, like it's these people who don't understand that when MGS2 did it, they did it to make a point.
So Axelrod pretty much announced that the next race will not run on All, but Lightning is deciding to stick by his guns. Aww.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. We've barely seen Lightning, so I don't really feel nothing from this supposed development.
Well, now Lightning McQueen is the next target, which means the stakes are raised and Lightning actually matters to the plot now.
You know what I've seen, actually?
See, this is how we tie into Lightning McQueen.
You know what I think was better? I saw a Downfall parody, around the time of this film's release, where Vega Line actually turned himself into a car and was racing all around the bunker, messing around with everybody, and that was funnier than this. And bear in mind, I reckon that guy made that on a budget of like nothing.
I love how they see a tow truck, and their first conclusion to that is it's an American spy.
Well, Pedro, let's not forget they've known him as the American spy. Don't you remember?
Oh, right.
No, they've been after him the whole movie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My lack of interest probably caused me to forget that.
Look, Pedro. I don't
Hey.
blame you, so I'm not going to fault you to it.
Go on.
No, that's it.
Ow.
Well, I was thinking to the Jova. Go on.
Well, I mean, we gotta be professional on all accounts here, but yeah, I can't entirely blame you for forgetting. But yes, that was a plot point, and
I don't watch this.
They want to matter.
I don't watch this movie often for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, okay. There are some really iffy movies, some really bad movies that I do like to rewatch on occasion because of how hilarious they are. This isn't one of them.
I'm not even kidding. Like when I saw this in the theater, even back then, I was already looking at my watch, going, "Oh my god, this is how longer is this?"
You're referring to the first time you watched this?
Yes, in the theater.
I'm curious. Like, well, from what you've told me, you weren't even that big a fan of the first Cars in general. Like, what brought you to the theater for this
I enjoyed
one?
the first Cars movie. I mean, I don't love it or anything, but I enjoy it for what it is. I mean, I said so as much in the commentary, didn't I?
Well, okay. I'm just referring to what you told me about the first time you watched it.
Oh, the first time I watched Cars 2? Well...
Wait, what was that guy saying just then? Hello, Cars?
He literally said that amongst the sea of the crowd.
Brilliant. Oh, goody, Gaz.
This is such a waste of a good actor.
Oh, goody, nightmare sequence. Thank you, Michael Caine.
Yes, thank you for reminding us of what the supposed plot is. Or, I mean, I'd take an excuse for a plot if you just want to have wacky spy stuff.
You know, if this movie was just about Mater getting some self-reflection, that's it. There's the plot.
Oh, there's the wasabi thing again.
But again, no, we're terrible for laughing and deriding Mater for acting like a jackass, even though, yeah, he was kind of acting like that.
But Jova, don't you see? He ate wasabi without knowing what it was. That's funny and quirky.
Okay, Lightning didn't actually say it like that.
No, he did not.
I hate it when they do that.
You mean how they frame it so the character said something this way, even though they clearly
actually did it.
Yeah, it happens in TV shows a
They
lot.
did that thing. They did that thing where all the cars were laughing at him. Ha 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 ha.
And now
Yeah, okay.
we're in the car equivalent to Big Ben, Dwibs.
Yeah, okay, you see, guys, all this stuff going on is why I would really rather watch Cars 3 than this movie. Cars 3 is just like seeing something going through the motions, while on occasion hitting some really bad speed bumps. This movie is like if the whole road was a speed bump one after the other. It hurts.
Honestly, that's how I feel more so about Cars 3, because look. I consider
we've got the unfunny comedy skit.
Wait. Oh my
going
god.
back and forth between tones.
Oh my god, the big reveal. Mater's not a spy. You know, I think the super serious spy is only figuring out that Mater's not a spy says more about them than it does about him.
Yeah. You are all crap spy. In fact, you are all terrible people. I mean, cars. Like.
Also, guys, get it? Big Ben in this world is called Big Bentley.
Nobody in this movie is competent. Everybody's stupid.
Wow. That pun actually got Dwibs to groan. Big Bentley.
In fact, since we talked about Lego before, everybody's stupid. Everything is supposedly funnier when everybody's dumb. Everybody's stupid.
Oh, and now all of a sudden, everyone from Radiator Springs.
Wait, Sally. When and why?
Did you get here?
Yeah, when did you get here, Sally? Exactly.
They got it by plane when they heard the news.
It's like the movies in the room. Oh yeah, Sally exists. I guess we might as well do something with her.
No, not right now. He wouldn't.
Can we please not
the Queen of England,
the car queen of England?
It's the Prince Philip stand.
There you go, Shiro. If you ever wanted to see the Queen as a car, there you go. John Lasseter fulfilled that dream for you, right here.
So should we call them cars?
But I didn't ask for this.
Well, too bad. He's giving it to you anyway.
So let us a big finale in Guild.
What about you, Dwiz? What do you think of the good old Queen as a car?
I've seen worse.
Shall we take a look at the entire royal family as cars as well while we're at it?
No, let's not.
We do get a look at some of them as cars.
Okay. Remember, this is the 2011 royal family, not the current one.
Wait, but the device didn't work.
Oh, and by the way, we're inside the Big Ben car as well.
Like I said, it's called Big Bentley.
So Dwebs, I already know what the answer is going to be from you, Dwebs, but just for shits and giggles, for the sake of crapping on this movie further, why not ask still? So Dwebs, which movie did better use of the Big Ben as a set piece? Professor Layton in Eternal Diva or this movie?
Can I answer that question as Professor Layton, hands down? Okay.
I mean, he asked me, so Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm not quite sure there's a fair comparison. Layton was only there for like 2 minutes at the beginning. This is a major plot point at the end of a big movie.
True.
Sure.
So I'm afraid I will have to give a DNA. Do not answer. Not that.
Hey, look, we're in that clock level.
But hey, it's just like this movie.
Hey, we're in a clock movie from Mario 64. The clock stage.
In fact, Dej, instead of that obvious, yet another obvious choice, why don't I just show you the Layton movie? Why not? Because that movie's great as well.
Meanwhile, I'll show Jova Die Another Day since he's been curious.
It's actually on YouTube and everything, so.
I mean, we're gonna get to that eventually anyway. Commentary.
Well, Jova, that's the thing, though. We have to get through like 17 more Bond films.
Yep.
So I'm having to show.
Just let me know when you guys get to Skyfall, okay? Because that's a legitimately good movie.
Okay, I might as well ask. Okay, as either you or both of you have been to London. Like, have any of you? Is the inside of the Big Ben an actual tourism place that people can actually go to, or is it like?
It's been as far as I know. I think it's only just been starting to finish its renovation work.
Okay. But before the renovation,
it's not like that Statue of Liberty where you can't go inside for reasons.
It's going back into.
Going back in time, yeah.
But because but before renovation, it's like is it an actual place that you can visit? Like obviously not the mechanical room, obviously, but that's not okay. Because
it's tied to the House of Commons, but you can only go into certain areas.
Sure, obviously, yeah. Oh my god, this is still going. Ugh. It's shorter than the first movie, but it feels like twice as long.
So, it turns out that Mater's escape was actually planned.
Yeah.
Why? Because the bad guys have a backup.
Yeah. First, think about this for a moment, Shira. This movie is actually 10 minutes shorter than the first movie. And it definitely doesn't feel like it.
No, this feels way too drawn out, and I want it to be over.
Yes, end movie, end.
So,
why are you still relying on Mater for help? Mater's a fucking dumbass. He can't help you. Oh, that's right, the bomb is on his thing. Ugh. Great. Oh, look at that. Huh? Okay, you know what this means, guys? Now we need to have a sorry, McQueen, I can't have you near me, which of course leads to a misunderstanding where Lightning McQueen is. Wait, come on, Mater, why don't you want to be near me? Come on, I just want to talk to you. Get it? Huh? Eh? Misunderstanding.
Wait, I love this. Misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
It's like that scene in World War II where Jackie Chan had a bomb inside his mouth.
There you go. See, we just saw that shot of the royal family as cars. There you go. The royal car family.
Oh my god.
What's like a celebrity that you guys want to see as a car?
Tom
Cruise car.
Tom Cruise control.
Yes, Tom Cruise car. What kind of what brand of car would he be, Dwips?
He'd be a boat.
A boat.
Cruise.
Wouldn't it make more sense wouldn't it make more sense for him to be a race car as well, considering he's always running in his movies?
Nah, he's a cruise. Wait a minute.
It's out of range.
And I'm gonna have to disagree. Making him a cruise is too easy. Making him a race car as a reference to the fact that he's always running in his movies is, I think, better.
So yeah, Lightning's in on the action now, guys.
Yeah.
He's literally getting dragged into it.
Oh my god. No, but good to get back to what I was answering you, Joe. But no, that's the thing. When I first watched the first Cars movie in theaters, I thought it was fine. Like I said in the commentary, it was fine. It's nothing amazing, but it's fine. When I saw this movie in theaters, I was most of the time just checking my watch going, is this over yet? Like,
yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's this movie for me. For as bad as it is, to me it just feels like a slight bout of patience. Cars 3 feels like a test in endurance for how much I have to stomach in that guy.
It's like this. Would you rather be bored or pissed off? Pick your poison.
To be honest, this film pisses me off.
Pedro, let me tell you my experience with watching this. I had to go to Nigeria, so it was a 16-hour flight between America to London and London to Nigeria, and they were showing us like, oh my god, this is so bad. It's like it wasn't one of those I could select what movie I can watch. This was it automatically plays for some reason. So it was between this, Puss in Boots, which is good, Happy Feet 2, Tintin. It was like, oh my god, there's only one good animated movie in this flight.
So let me get this straight. They had Cars 2, they had The Adventures of Tintin, which was also crap, but they didn't have Winnie the Pooh. Like, the good one they don't show. Nice.
Maybe they did, but I was like, I'm a teenager. I'm too old for Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that boat is dead.
I don't know. I love that movie.
I didn't know about it. Like, recently I've heard, oh yeah, that movie's good. It's like, cool. But, you know, it got screwed over because they released it the same day as Harry Potter.
A mistake they repeated.
Also,
repeat of the mistake they did.
Also,
about 9 years before.
Also, British buzz. Not an omnibus, but a buzz. Oh, wait, like, is it maybe...
This is a pub.
Yeah, and this is
a pub. And of course they get beat up in the pub.
Yeah, get it? You left turn in.
Okay,
it's funny.
I don't get that one.
British joke. Okay, Dwibs, bust out your Siri. See if you can deactivate it.
Hey Siri.
Make this movie better, Siri.
Deactivate the bomb.
Hey, do me a favor. Ask Siri. Siri, why is Cars 2 so awful?
Okay. Hey Siri. Why is Cars 2 so awful?
Why is Cars 2 so awful? Check it out.
I didn't say.
You pretty much walked right into that one.
So basically, Siri just told you. Go find out yourself.
Oh wait, guys. The speech. Okay, you know what? Kudos to them not having it be that sappy speech that saves the day.
Yeah, but I mean, they still got foiled, but yeah, it was by the good guys.
Oh wow! So somehow everyone's more badass to the light.
Wait! Is that the cop car from Radiator Springs? What is he doing here?
Yes.
Yeah, but
shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. Why is he here? Shouldn't he shouldn't be taking care of Radiator Springs? So basically, Radiator Springs is literally left to the wolves right now. Is what this movie's telling me.
It's even worse than what you keep saying about Knuckles of the Master Emerald. I mean, that's one rock compared to an entire town.
It's like well, it's an entire island that's in danger because of that, Dibs, actually.
We're about
but
to get the big reveal.
No, it's London. Oh yeah, great. So everyone get the
fuck
the bills
you, fuck you, movie.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
I had to punch something with that again. Yeah, Shiroi, did you hear? Being yourself means everything will turn out just fine. Isn't that right?
You see, Shiroi, if someone has a problem with you, it's not your fault. Your fault. It's their fault for not changing according to you.
By the way, Deji.
This reminds me of that Recess episode, and I don't like it.
The voice of the voice of the computer that Meta has is voiced by Teresa Gallagher, and you mostly hear her a lot in stuff like Gumball.
Okay.
Which episode, Shiroi?
Everybody doesn't like TJ. It's the one bad Recess episode.
Oh god, I hate that episode.
Everybody does.
I know,
but anyway,
I know it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of adjacent.
I feel like people missed the message of
that
there you episode.
Here's the Queen car.
But the message was also presented terribly.
It's let me just say that the Tangled series handled that much better.
I believe you.
But anyway,
from what I've seen, the Tangled series has actually had competent writing.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, there's a thing that a lot of writers and directors from the Avatar: The Last Airbender worked on it. Actually.
Oh snap!
Okay, question. Wait, Pedro. does the Tangled series have an ending that kind of feels disappointing, like Korra?
No.
Voltron,
No.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. It's Axelrod, Mater thinks.
Someone positioned everything to. Hey, let's say this. Imagine Herschel lit in car right now. Somebody is responsible for this, and that somebody is you.
Well, Pedro.
Sorry, I don't know.
Can't point, can he?
Well. Okay. Actually, Gypsy can point with the wheel. So it turns out it was Axelrod that was linking the oil, not Mater with that pissing joke.
That
was meant to be a clue.
If only I gave a crap. Whatever, I just want the movie to be over at this point. Just end movie. Because lemons, okay? Just end the movie.
No. To be fair, he did it to make all in all look bad.
Well, I get that there's a reason, but I still don't care.
Come on. Okay, look. The movie is dumb for reasons, but let's actually be sure we're thorough in pointing out those reasons so that we don't end up doing something inaccurate.
Try my best. It's really hard to maintain. It's really hard not to drift away into a different world from watching this thing. You know, Mater, if you would have been wrong, you would have put everybody in danger.
But it's okay, he was right. Oh, isn't that nice? The British bomb even tells him to have a nice day.
And it hasn't been those
Get it? Because Brits are always polite and blah 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 blah. Even though
okay, because I respect Jobs and Sheer, I will not make fun of them for that.
Wait, make fun of them for what?
No, about Brits being polite. So I was like, nope, too easy.
Well, it's just a typical cartoony stereotype. I'm pretty sure. Then
say for the Canadians being extremely polite. It's like, no.
Well, I mean, at least the movie's nearly over.
Well, Dribs, now it's time for Mater to get knighted. Truly one of Britain's finest, eh?
So, Liz, what do you think of all the people that Britain has knighted? How does Mater stack up?
And what's this? She knights him for antenna.
Okay, he's not the worst, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's still Michael Cole.
I thought you were going to say America's mayor himself, Dej.
Shira, question. What's that? God, what?
Evacuate Springs.
Give me a name of it.
Oh my god, we're back to where we're supposed to be.
Wait, hold on this bit. This is literally how a Mater's tall tales goes. Basically, Mater tells a tall tale, people have trouble believing it, but then it turns out there shows up to be something that proves him right.
What are you gonna say, Pedro?
Oh, hey, these two, they actually made it back. Note for note, that is legit how a Mater's Tall Tales. This was literally an extended Mater's Tall Tales episode.
It is?
Really extended, nearly 2 hours.
Yes, like Pedro.
Well, actually, I was answering Ollie. Like, it's good to see you again, Mater. Is it? You
saved the day.
Okay, also over. Also,
and she's Mater's girlfriend now.
There you go, Shiroi. This ship has now officially set sail.
Is she returning Cars Furry?
No.
Also, Jova, another thing I much prefer Cars 3 more than this.
It's like
I don't have to hear Larry the Cable Guy for nearly 2 hours.
Not just that. Not just that, but
look, it's Ernie from
you see,
yes, Pedro.
You see, Shiroi, what happened was the ship set sail. But then the reviews of this movie came out, so the ship was struck down by a missile and sunk.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding. Nothing. I'm not kidding. Cars 3 basically pretends that this movie didn't exist. Basically. But... Not that I blame it, don't get me wrong, but...
Also, yeah, Fillmore's not voiced by George Carlin in this movie compared to the previous one because, unfortunately, he died around the same time Paul Newman did.
So basically, Fillmore's the reason that Lightning didn't die.
So Fillmore saves the day, not Mater. So basically, John, you just shot your own premise in the fucking ass, didn't you?
This whole movie's a lie.
Okay, to be fair, it was Fillmore that saved Lightning from dying by the death ray, but Mater was still the one who did manage to get Axelrod caught.
That being said, Shiroi, I have wonderful news for you. The movie's almost over.
Yay!
And now Francesco is good friends with Lightning, I guess. This whole thing's been an eye-opener for him.
Again, I know Jova said this before, but I think now it's the best time to re-emphasize. This is from the director of Toy Story, Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2. Think about that for a moment. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Lasso was nowhere near Cars 3.
And that was even worse than this. Ugh.
Well,
I still disagree, Joe, but for the reasons I've always...
Yeah, we've already...
Like I said, Dwibs, we agreed to disagree, obviously.
We did. Here's the thing, Dwibs, he didn't direct it, but he still greenlit it, and wasn't he a story writer for that as well, at least?
Not according to Wikipedia, at least.
Okay, well, regardless, he's still allowed it to exist, so he's still responsible.
Let us now end with a race. Oh, hey, Lightning Sandgirls.
Remember when they were flashing him in the first movie? That was funny.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like, I mean, at least the first film had a few good jokes.
Hey, Lily's Butte. That's nice.
Yeah, the first movie was at least a lot more enjoyable than this.
It was.
The first movie actually knew what it was and embraced it.
Please, Shiro. This movie makes the first one look like fucking Citizen Kane. Like,
well, that's the thing, Dej. I'd argue this movie does know what it wants to be, but what it wants to be is awful. It's awful. Wow, look. I know that Mater saved the day, but the most smartest and honest chap you've ever met?
I mean, honest I could maybe see, but smartest...
What you wanna... So basically, Jova, what your basic opinion is...
And then it turns out that Mrs. Shiftwell died on her mission, and that's why she's not back in Cars 3.
So basically, Jova, what you're saying is that you're basically reciting the same thing you said in our 13.2 playthrough. And allow me to quote... Wow, that's just awful. Am I correct? Am I correct there?
Yep.
Ow.
Basically, that to give you an idea, like 13.2 is one of the few select games we've done that actually officially left Jova speechless, which is not common.
Because honestly, I think what would have been a better premise for this movie is if the cars went to space.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Jova.
Okay. Now here's the best thing about this movie. The song Collision of Worlds.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's co-sung by Robbie Williams. Oh no, Robbie Williams also sung the ending song from Finding Nemo, so that's yet another thing that actors did better in the previous Pixar movies than this one.
The thing about Collisions of Worlds is that it's co-sung by a British singer and a country singer. You know, hence the whole Collision of Worlds thing.
Hey, Joe, but remember when you asked when we did Cars 1 about how would the Cars world work in Kingdom Hearts? I just figured it out. It's the Final Fantasy trilogy, except their cars.
Yeah.
No. We could get Lightning McQueen.
Get it? Lightning and Lightning McQueen.
No.
Sure.
No. Just also Pedro. That wouldn't. Also, Pedro, that wouldn't work because then that would mean that the third movie actually has to treat Lightning well. But it doesn't.
Wait, did you just make a Final Fantasy 13 comparison and I wasn't paying attention?
No, basically, Deji, my idea was the entire Final Fantasy 14 trilogy, except it takes place in the Cars universe.
And Dwib said you could have Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen.
So why isn't
Also,
why wasn't there a Cars world in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Probably there would be like a mini game eventually at some point. Go on, Dwibs, your thoughts.
I could see it being way more than just a mini game. Also, you gotta love how the credit shows Lightning and Mater being together the best of friends, as if that's what the movie was about. But hell no, they spent most of the film apart from each other. Oh, and that's what sphinxes were like in Egypt.
Go on, Dwibs.
But yeah. Of all the Pixar movies that I've seen, this is definitely one of the worst. In terms of the Cars films that I've seen, I'm not counting Planes. I haven't seen either of those. I'm just speaking about the Cars movies themselves. This in my opinion is the worst because it's not funny, unlike Cars 1 at least was. Cars 1 was also more focused, and well, it didn't drive me nuts. Like, I mean, hell, Cars 3 for all its problems, and we'll get to that next time. At least Cars 3 didn't drive me spare. I mean, at least in that movie, I don't have to put up with Larry the Cable Guy's voice for 2 hours. Yeah, at least in Cars 3, the plot doesn't constantly flip flop between spy stuff and racing stuff. Okay. To list off the pros, to go pros and cons. Pros: Michael Giacchino's score, the animation, obvious Pixar as a given, and the voice cast performances. Yes, even the ones that annoy.
Oh, Jason Isaacs was in this movie.
Sad, isn't it?
Huh.
And okay, I need another pro because I don't want to be I don't want to be solely Mr. Negative.
The animation.
I've already mentioned that.
Visuals?
No, you already said that. How about
it ended.
The movie eventually ends. Mercifully ends. I guess that's something.
Some of the jokes worked. The keyword being some.
I'd love to know which ones.
Well, actually, there was a couple jokes that you yourself pointed out as funny.
Yeah, like 1 or 2.
Well, that's something.
It was nice.
Though. The first movie hopelessly outnumbers those.
It was nice to get to see all these different environments, although this does read up the problem that it feels like the film was teasing us with possibly building on the world building better, but... Well, I'll get more to it with my final thoughts. Anything else, Dwibs?
No, not really. Just a quick sum up. I mean, regardless of whether you think this film or the next one is the worst, I'm pretty sure we can all agree this one just sucks. It's not funny. It's completely erratic with what it wants to do, and it just drives me nuts. Again, yeah. At the very least, I probably walk out of Cars 3 thinking, that wasn't very good, but at least my brain doesn't feel like it wants to blow up.
All right, that's it. Shiro, a question. Okay, so that's next for you. Okay, how about this? Just to put you in a context, Pixar just came off from in quick succession: Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, and Toy Story 3, and now they delivered this. Thoughts, please.
Wow.
And
that's Shiro's final thoughts on Cars 2. Wow.
No more to say.
Hold on. Before you do, though, even better, imagine Pixar coming off of WALL-E, Incredibles, Up, and Toy Story flipping 3, only to come to this.
Mater eating the wasabi?
Yes.
Haven't you always wanted to see?
Wasabi.
But Shiro, haven't you always wanted to see a car eat wasabi?
No, the thought never crossed my mind whatsoever.
Well, it did John's, though.
A car react to a Japanese toilet.
Deji, why would you post this?
Fine, I'll delete it.
Oh no, let the others see it first.
I already saw it. Well, final thoughts regardless, though, Shirai, please.
Yes. I like the soundtrack. And it's a good-looking movie. That is pretty much where the positives end for... Well, I mean, the acting is good as well, but, you know. The rest is... Like, the movie was way longer than it needed to be. It was very disjointed. Like, it flip-flopped way too much. It wasn't really funny. And... yeah, this is... Like, the first movie wasn't anything amazing, but it was at least enjoyable. And entertaining to an extent, but this is just what happened. And that's it.
What happened? John Lasseter stopped being able to cater to anyone but himself. That's what happened.
And a lot of the Pixar staff really lost their way.
Well, I will argue it was more so a leadership problem than anything.
Like I said, it was not him alone. Like, there were definitely several cooks in the kitchen that contributed to this being bad.
Next?
Go on, Dej.
If you haven't been paying attention to the commentary throughout the, you would understand that I don't like this movie. I would consider this to be Pixar's worst film to date. Focusing on the comic relief, sorry. Let me. Can I reword that?
Go ahead.
Leaves you speechless, doesn't it?
Please do.
Focusing on the comic relief character, who usually ends up as the fan favorite, doesn't always turn out that well. Look at Friends of Joey.
The fan favorite.
Well, but I guess with the kids, he probably was.
No. That's the thing. Even with the kids, Lightning was still the most popular character. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Don't get me wrong. People liked Mater, but it wasn't like Mater was this breakout star. And if anything, we got enough of him because he got his own spin-off series. So suddenly putting him in the driver's seat, no pun intended, of Cars 2 was weird. Like, you want to have Mater be the star, that's what Mater's Tall Tales is for. But the movie is essentially an extended version of a Mater's Tall Tales episode. Right down to him retelling the events, somebody not believing it, but then proof showing up that does facilitate it.
It felt like they wanted to make two different movies and try to tie it all together, and it's just, no, this does not work. It's not funny. But maybe we got a chuckle out of one joke, even that I can't even remember. It's like, what happened during the development of this film? Who thought this was good? Besides, I know the obvious John Lasseter, but I am so glad he is not involved with Pixar anymore.
Again, Pete Docter was the best thing that has happened to Pixar ever.
Definitely.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Just look, it was going to be inevitable that Pixar wasn't always going to make everything they touch wasn't going to be gold.
I think we're just. Oh, go on.
It's just like, wow, like even by like diehard Pixar fans, a lot of people I knew didn't really like the first Cars movie. They just thought it would be
Again, like I said,
I feel like the general reception is, yeah, this is bad.
It's like I said before.
Cars
the
2
problem
feels
with
like what people were fearful that Cars would turn out to be.
But go on, Pedro.
No, it's like I said before. The problem, the thing about the people talking about that with Cars 1 is because it's of course Pixar being a victim of their own success. Pixar made so many brilliant films throughout the 2000s that now every movie needs to be like Incredibles. Every movie needs to be like Toy Story. Every movie needs to be like that. Like, and we can't just have something simple for whatever reason, you know, because it's apparently this is not as good as the other ones. Well, okay, it isn't, but doesn't mean it's bad. So something with Disney's Hercules, you know, like it's not as good as Beauty and the Beast. Well, okay, it's not trying to be. Can we try to judge the movie by its own merits, please? Like
this Monsters at Work isn't good because it doesn't hit me with the feels.
Exactly.
Yes, those were actual articles written.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with her. In the same way that there's nothing wrong with Cars being a more simpler story. There's nothing wrong with Hercules being a more of a comedy than something like Beauty and the Beast. Not every movie needs to be Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Look, man, not everything is gonna be Super Saiyan and Goku fighting the monster of the week, okay?
Exactly.
Until it becomes exactly that formulaic, like with the Dragon Ball Super manga. What?
What are you talking about? You telling me that Dragon Ball Super is actually bad?
All right.
Nah. Just formulaic. Not necessarily even bad, but very formulaic.
I would argue it's bad, but screw you, Toyotaro. But moving on, carry on.
We'll cover that someday.
Don't watch this movie. Like,
oh boy!
Like I said, there's a reason why this didn't get nominated for an Oscar, unlike every other Pixar film.
It's because it's garbage.
Well, honestly, after this, Pixar films were not consistently nominated for Oscars.
No, they were actually.
But then again, would you? Okay, wait, Pedro. Would you rather watch this or The Adventures of Tintin?
Okay, I guess
Happy Feet 2.
I guess The Adventures of Tintin is technically a better made movie, but it's still garbage and insulting to me as a Tintin fan. But so yeah, I guess Adventures of Tintin, it's like a hey Pedro, would you rather take this shit moose or this shit sundae? Both of them are gonna taste horribly, but you gotta pick one of them. Carry on.
Yeah. Nah, I got nothing else to say. Screw this movie.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll go next. Oh boy! Let me put it like this. Cars 2 is the equivalent of going on a wonderful, wonderful drive, and then wham! Hitting a brick wall. That's how much the drop in quality feels like. Because again, like I mentioned, we were coming off of not just a good streak from Pixar, but it just felt like they were getting better and better for the most part with their later ones. And then suddenly this happens. Look, I was somebody who liked Cars back then. I never really got the hatred people had for it. But all the same, when I heard that Cars 2 was coming about, I didn't really feel like I had any reason to be fearful of it, because from the way they did the advertising, it looked like, okay, maybe there'll be some spy stuff, but at least it'll mainly be Lightning and Mater, and But oh my god, the plot, or plots at hand, do not mesh well at all. The trailers lied to us, god damn it, and Lightning is made a minor character in what was originally touted to be his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
And look, regardless of what money this movie made, the backlash must have been felt. Because not only did Disney and Pixar hold off on making Cars 3, but, well, even though I hate Cars 3 more than Cars 2, it does feel like Cars 3 was trying to address problems people had with Cars 2. The problem is they added new problems that made it even worse. But we're talking about this movie right now here. The music and songs, they're good. Maybe not as memorable as the first Cars movie, but still very good. I do like us getting to see all these new different environments with the Cars universe. What I don't like is that we don't get as much an explanation with some things here and there, sadly. The characters do have interesting concepts at hand. The problem is that they're not drawn up on when it counts. So they're pretty much just concepts mainly, except for the main characters here and there. I guess the action is nice. Shame the writing isn't. The voice acting is great. Shame the characters aren't. And from there, the bad pretty much outweighs the good. It's not a good movie. Now, to talk about something nobody else has mentioned, let's talk about how terrible the mystery actually is. First of all, a lot of the clues given are not really clear that they're clues at all, which, to be fair, it's nice that some aren't as obvious. However, the part where they show that the engine, that is clearly a different car than Axelrod. For one, it's a different color than his hood during it when they show the photo.
Yeah. Like, if he was wearing a disguise, fine, but I was just looking at comparing it. It's like, there's nothing that implies that they're the same.
You could say maybe they did that to fool us, but I'm sorry, no. That's always a cheap tactic when you blatantly lie to your audience to supposedly make a mystery clever. I don't care for it when writers do that.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, his motivations don't make any sense. So he made All in All, but he wants All in All to look bad so that cars will just use regular gas.
Because he recently found an oil refinery and he could have made more money off of that.
Problem is, like, well, again, all he had to do was just stop making All in All. He didn't need to make this big elaborate plan that he would have gotten arrested for.
Yep.
It's like, you also killed people.
Yes.
Yes.
I like how
sure.
you just said that with fury.
Oh, sure. Question. Like, what's like? I actually forgot to ask you during your final thoughts. Like, okay, what's like a British celebrity or someone famous from Britain that you like really hate?
Ooh.
Just name one.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go for the low-hanging fruit, Piers Morgan.
Okay.
God,
You see,
Morgan.
okay. Here's the basic punch here, right? Here's the moral of this movie. You see, Shirai, the fact that Piers Morgan is just being himself, and if you don't like it, well, it's not him that has to change, it's you, because he's just being himself.
Of course, I need to change instead of the racist, homophobic, transphobic, sexist douche nozzle. Of course.
I can't
Exactly.
let go of a girl he only met once.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's also a creep, but yeah, sure, I'm the one who needs an attitude change.
Exactly, see?
You know, look, for as much
What's
as
wrong
I
with you,
like
Shirai?
You know, for as much
I don't
as
know.
You know, for as much as I like Aladdin, even that movie didn't necessarily think of the nuances of the whole be yourself lesson. But
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
Hold on. I wasn't finished yet. However, even though it didn't go to all the nuances, I'd argue it still had a better idea of how that lesson should actually go than this movie does. Even though Aladdin committed a bit of a similar mistake, it still got the message down leagues better than this movie did. You know, this movie goes the whole 1,000 miles and says, you know, it's just about a patience, and I get it. I do get it. There are some things that you do need to compromise, but that's the thing. Compromise. This movie does not encourage compromise. It encourages subjugation to your friend, and you have to accept them for every single thing, no matter how they act, because you should love them for being themselves. Like,
oh wait, actually, there is one more thing with the villain. He says that he turned himself into an electric car, but he didn't. I was like, wouldn't it be more sustainable if you and the other lemons just turned yourselves into electric cars, so at least you can feel useful to society instead of.
Oh, Dad, it's funny you mentioned that. That is one of my big problems with Cars 3.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Have a fucking girlfriend has a better understanding of how human relationships are supposed to work. That's a comedy, by the way.
Well, don't you see, Pedro? These guys are cars. They're different.
Oh, yeah, car relationships. Yes, of course.
Hey,
silly me.
Come on. You never see what your cars do when you aren't looking. For all you know, that Suzuki could really love that Porsche next to the BMW, who's in an affair with the Bentley, that is in love with that limo.
I still have no idea how the hell do cars breed.
That was a sentence, Joe.
Like, seriously, how does again, can a plane breed with a buggy?
Yes.
And how would that, and what the offspring would even be?
A transformer.
Of course. Silly
I mean,
me.
let's be honest. It's more logical than anything to be found in this movie.
So basically, the Transformers were born on this world. This is actually the real. You know what? I can't even finish that with a straight face. This movie's exhausting.
This movie, it blows.
Why, John? Why did you betray us?
I don't find
Top
it
10 anime
worst.
betrayals. Number 1, John Laster.
My favorite image of John Lesnar is him like posing, and then there's a picture of Lightning McQueen driving, and it said John Lesnar seconds before, pictures taken some moments before the creation he brought into this world takes him out.
You know what that would be quite.
If only.
Quite the public service from Lightning McQueen, but yeah. And yet, I still don't find this the worst Pixar movie. The worst Pixar movie to me is either Cars 3 or Toy Story 4.
Or what? What was that last one?
Toy Story 4.
Remember, Deji...
They made a Toy Story 4?
Remember, Deji's still in denial, so you're going to have to excuse him. But,
It's going to be quite heartbreaking when his reality gets broken apart. But yeah, Pedro, close us out.
Okay, so... Cars 2. Cars 2 is a movie. Technically. I guess it technically counts as a movie, I guess. It's a bunch of scenes where stuff kind of happens.
Like I said, it's pretty much an extended TV episode of Mater's Tall Tales when you get down to it.
This movie makes me sad because it represents the downfall of what was once a great animation studio, who has fortunately they've purged all the terrible people out of there.
Yes.
And Pete Docter rebirthed the studio. And so now it's great. So now we can at the very least look back on this with at the very least more relief. But yeah, that was a very rough 8 years.
Oh boy, yeah.
I mean, and remember, Pete Docter was the only one. Like, remember, while all the other Pixar directors were, kind of scrounging. Well, not all of them, to be fair. Dan Scanlon did Monsters University, and that was good, and Coco was great. But Pete Docter,
like I said,
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it's like I said, during the Dork Age, even when we got good Pixar movies, they were followed up with bad or mediocre ones. Like, now we seem to have gotten back into, the era of Pixar that we once knew.
Mm-hmm. Because Pete Docter actually says no to bad movies, fortunately, so far.
My favorite part of the movie is when we were in Italy, and I was just thinking of Luca. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Pedro, question. Which do you think was worse? The Dork Age of Pixar caused by John Lasseter, or the direct-to-video Disney sequel era that John Lasseter was praised for ending?
Well, they were both bad for their own reasons. It's just that...
Which would you say was worse, though?
I guess, there are, even in the sequel, in the Disney direct-to-video sequels, there are the occasional good ones.
Exactly.
They're not many, but they're there.
It's like I've always said.
I guess I'll put them on equal because I still really enjoy in the Dork Age. I still really enjoy Monsters University, Finding Dory, Coco, Inside Out. No, that's it actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of just brought up my point, though. It's like, well, again, for as much as people rag on the direct-to-Disney sequel era, I don't think it was as bad as they make it out to be. It just needed better quality control instead of just throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying, but that's exactly why people say that it's bad, because of the lack of quality control.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
it's just that I can't help but find the irony that the guy who was praised for bringing it to an end...
It's like trying to say, well, I don't think this movie was that bad. It just needed to be well written. Well, no crap. I mean, it's just one of those cases.
So, what would you say for the Pixar Dork Age? Well, of course the movies could have been better if John Lasseter didn't do his John Lasseter thing.
Well, he should have been... Well, obviously the first thing to do would be to fire him immediately the moment he touched someone inappropriately, right from the beginning. But of course, Ed Catmull was probably protecting him at the time, so they couldn't... but fortunately, Fortunately, he was also purged too, so there's that. Yeah, the movie's terrible. It makes no sense. The new characters they introduce are underdeveloped. The plot makes no sense. The jokes are unfunny. It's such a complete ruination. Again, don't watch this. Just watch the accompanying short, Toy Story Hawaiian Vacation. That's actually a really good short. Yeah, that was basically that's basically it. That was basically actually, Joby, you were asking me about my experience back in 2011. Well, here's what I said. Okay, so I was Cars 2, Pedro. Here's in my basic. Here's what you do: get the ticket, watch the short, and then leave. Because after that, you've seen the highlights. That's the highlight.
Paying a movie ticket just to see a short. What is this? The 50s?
Well, this is. Well, actually, no, Joby. In the 50s, the shorts were accompanying movies as well.
Well, remember, there were points where people went to the movie theaters to watch shorts on their own, essentially.
Well, I think what you're talking about is that some people would actually go watch a movie, pay for a movie just because they wanted to see the new Bugs Bunny short, not necessarily because they were interested in the movie itself. I think that's what you mean.
That's the thing. Sometimes the Looney Tunes shorts were literally just shown on their own in the theater.
Were they?
In the movie. Yeah.
Were they like compilations or something? I don't think I've heard of that.
Segments or whatnot. The thing is, like, I think though that movie tickets for those costed less than movie tickets for movies. That's one of the main reasons why Walt Disney wanted to make a feature-length animated movie. You know, make more money off of the tickets for that.
Well, yeah, we already talked about that. Anyway, yeah, this movie sucks. And newsflash: Cars 3 is not any better.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay.
There's a case to be made for it being worse, but you know what? You won't need to take my word for it because I have a feeling we may be looking at that movie relatively soon.
Yes, it's not going to be the worst animated movie we've seen all year.
No, it is not.
Our podcasts or anything to go over.
Well, whatever. See you for Cars 3, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.